passengers, and welcome aboard the TV Pilot's License with service to Paris. We ask that you please fasten your headphones, secure your podcasting device, and remember that unlike the French workplace, if you show up late today for your flight, you will not be flying.
Welcome to the TV Pilot's License. My name is Geoff in Quebec, joined by Rich in Norwich and Max in Halifax. How you boys doing today?
Oh, nice.
I'm so good. I've got my brand new, I think I'm saying this right, Louis Vuitton luggage packed, and I'm excited for today's flight.
Rich, how are you?
I'm doing great. Jeff has sadly informed Max and I that we can only do the cigarette motion with our hands while talking 3 times maximum.
Well, boys, this week we are going semi-international, I guess, by talking about Emily in Paris before the new season debuts today, this Thursday.
Oh, wow.
But before we talk more about this show, this hit, Max, can you tell folks what this podcast is all about?
Do you think Emily in Paris and Mrs. Harris from Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris know each other?
100%.
Do you think they ever bump into each other?
100%.
Does she know Mr.
I
Bean?
hate that you even had to ask that question. That's so silly. Come on.
I assume they're in the same universe. Anyway, here at TV Pilot's License, we break down and analyze the pilot episodes of some of TV's most famous, or in some cases, infamous shows. We learn more about how these shows came to be and were originally made, if they're effective pilot episodes in making us want to watch more, and if we think they'd be made today. Go back and stream our old episodes from wherever you listen to podcasts. Check us out on YouTube to see our smiling faces. Please like, subscribe, comment. It makes such a difference. If it is your first time flying with us, then welcome aboard.
And Rich, what is your question of the week?
Okay, so instead of doing something mean, I'm going to ask... I want to know if you guys had an opportunity to work abroad, I guess, where would you be sent, and what job are you doing?
All right, gentlemen, we're going to Ireland.
Oh,
specifically, we're going to Ireland, and I'm doing something I could do in the U.S., but fuck it. I want to be a barista in Ireland.
Oh,
it just seems like a comfy place to drink a delightful seasonal coffee drink of some sort, or maybe a nice artisanal tea, and enjoy my days potentially living in the countryside, because you can live in the countryside if you go and work in Dublin, and it is a reasonable commute with very lovely people. So that is my true honest answer. I think about that at least once a week.
I love it.
So, Max, what are you thinking?
Does it have to be abroad?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Do you want to just pick a different city?
You want to move to Minnesota with me?
Max
Right,
says America first. That's his motto.
This is when the podcast takes a turn.
And also gets
moving to my
100,000 more
favorite-
followers.
I'm moving to my favorite place. I'm going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, taking a job with the Heinz factory, and I'm coming up with new types of ketchup.
Oh, can you please bring back the purple ketchup that from the 90s in our youth? Like, please, I ask you that be your first
Buddy,
thing you do.
we're squeezing ketchup out of tubes you can't even conceive right now in that pea-sized brain of yours.
Rich, what about you?
Oh, Max, what happened to the Heinz company? Well, Max sent it under with his new chocolate ketchup invention.
Shh.
That's just
Rich, you
chocolate
gotta
sauce.
keep it below. Come
NDA. Well, I'm actually, I think I am like our titular character today. I am going to Paris, and I am working in the cheese caves, baby. I'm getting moldy. I'm fermenting. I'm working with rinds. I am down below the surfaces of Paris, and I am making the finest cheeses imaginable.
I know it's an Italian cheese, but like you cough and just like a cloud of comes up.
Oh,
I got the yellow lung pop.
It would be so funny if it was cotija and they're like, that we don't even make that in that this region of the world. What are you talking about?
it's not even moldy.
Well, Rich, thank you so much for your intriguing question of the week. Let's talk a little bit more about Emily in Paris. I feel bad not calling this show by the bonkers title that the founder of the show, the the creator of the show decided it was, which is Emily in Paris, which is
I'll tell you right now,
fully insane. Fully insane. But you know what? I'm going to honor that person's wishes. A young American woman from the Midwest is hired by a marketing firm in Paris to provide them with an American perspective on things, which is definitely what we watched. Maybe a small tweak in language here and there. But, Max, how did this show get made?
I mean, just to kind of add on to Jeff's pronunciation guide, if she's Emily, she's in Paris. If it's Mrs. Harris, she's in Paris.
In Paris, yeah.
Today we are talking about the pilot episode of Emily in Paris, titled Emily in Paris, which originally aired on October 2nd, 2020 on Netflix. And we're talking about the show's creator, Darren Star, a bit more. An Emmy winner with 4 nominations to his name. It's a hat trick for Star here at TV Pilot's License as the creator of Sex and the City and Kitchen Confidential, both equally important to the cultural zeitgeist. Dig way back into some old school season 1 TVPL for analysis on both of these comedies.
Oh, yeah.
Star begins to develop a new show for Paramount Networks as part of an overall deal he has with Viacom CBS. In 2018, Viacom was attempting to launch Paramount Network as a competitor for premium basic cable alongside AMC and FX, although the channel would abandon these plans and rebrand as a movie broadcast channel in 2020. The plan had been to move Younger, another Star project from TV Land, to Paramount, and couple it with a new series for a dramedy block, also set to feature a TV version of First Wives Club. The idea was shelved before it even happened. Viacom decided to keep Younger at TV Land and pivoted First Wives Club to BET while selling the rights to Emily in Paris to Netflix. Today's pilot is directed by Andrew Fleming, best known for helming the feature films Nancy Drew and Hamlet 2 in the late aughts, along with his TV work on shows like Younger and Uncoupled for Darren Star, and 2 episodes in the first season of a little show called Franklin and Bash we just covered on this podcast.
Hell yeah.
the through line, it's all coming together.
We were going to get a second Franklin and Bash episode, but boy, are you fucking wrong, you loser.
Oops.
Check out episodes 3 and 5 of season 1 to see Andrew Fleming's work, and then watch Emily in Paris.
Oops, all Franklin and Bash.
Boy, I don't think there's anything that screams overall deal more than this show. This is just like, we have less of an ability to say no. Let's go. Let's make Emily in Paris.
Rich, that's a really interesting way to introduce this podcast because, when I think of overall deals, they almost seem a little bit like, I don't know, what's that word that we tend to use? Nepotism. Lily Collins in Chicago. We enter into this show
Wait, we enter where?
we enter this show in Chicago.
Why? Why are we doing there? Whoa.
I don't know, but we see. I'm going to just, you know what? I'm going to start off. I like to start off every meeting that I do in life with a small compliment, and I want to compliment Lily Collins' superb running form next to Lake Michigan. It is fantastic. Great use of the arms, not too much exaggeration of the legs. And Rich, how do you feel about seeing Home Sweet Home of Chicago, but also Phil Collins' daughter entering our pilot to give us a sense of where are we? And it's not in Paris.
It felt like we got... the crew had like 4 hours in Chicago, and they knocked out everything that they needed to do there. There are almost no exterior shots in Chicago except for outside the Chicago Theater, which I believe is in River North, and then alongside the lake, which is I like close to Wrigleyville, I think, where she was.
She was in. I think she was in. All right. Welcome to Chicago Geography, everyone. I've been prepared for this moment and this moment alone for years. She starts off, and we're in the exterior of Lincoln Park, just a little bit south of Lakeview, where Wrigley is, and then we are in the Loop. Which there's one thing this show does that's fucking insane, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit. But this show spends more time in the Loop after sunset than anyone should in their damn fucking life. And we're going to talk about that more. But we start to learn that Emily isn't just a runner. She is working at a pharmaceutical ad agency under a surprise that I was not expecting of Kate Walsh. And Max, what sort of credibility do you think this advertising agency marketing firm scene with Kate Walsh gives Emily?
Well, I think that we don't really see a lot of it, but we get the idea that Emily is good at her job, that she's a young up-and-comer, and she's been in the type of role where it seems like she has a lot of great ideas that are then carried out by people above her. And I think that her path, at least at this ad agency, is something that a lot of people can relate to in their 20s. The notion of, I'm putting in really good work and people above me are getting credit for it, except she has a cool boss in Kate Walsh who is now granting her the opportunity to pitch for the first time, that she's going to be the face in the room. And I do wish we got to see Emily do these things that people tell her she's good at, instead of just hearing Kate Walsh say, hey, you're good and now is your time. Like, that notion of show, don't tell kind of falls by the wayside in this pilot.
You want 5 minutes dedicated to her epilepsy medication ad? Like, what do you want?
Like, I actually... because if this whole concept is that Emily is good enough to, spoiler alert, get this opportunity to go to Paris for a year and work professionally in marketing and doing social media, I want to buy it. I want to see that she has some tact and some panache and that she's worthy of taking on this mantle. And instead, it's just one throwaway of like, hey, you're good. Now's your time.
Rich, I think you have the same thought as I do. And I want to test it really quickly. Do we think that this marketing agency is built on the flimsiest structure that if Kate Walsh can't go, well, we have to take Emily.
Are there 3 people working at this place?
This is a 2-person agency, and they were just like, well, the person who's qualified to go has to go. Emily, what are you up to for the next fucking year?
I do want to put in here, too, that Darren Star is currently 64 years old. And I think his understanding of what millennials are feels very like 90s CBS sitcom writers trying to rekindle their career now. It feels very like, well, these French people probably have never thought about putting their fashion brand on Instagram. It's 2019.
30 years ago, no one questioned why Carrie Bradshaw was so successful despite writing a column for an alt weekly in New York City, and he's applying that same logic to Emily Cooper.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know what Darren Star absolutely fucking nails? And that is Emily's boyfriend, who I don't know his name, being a finance bro in Chicago, loving the Cubs, and absolutely having no idea what to do when he finds out that his girlfriend is going to Paris. Max, I want to go to you, because have you ever seen someone be less committal and excited for their partner getting this gigantic opportunity?
Oh, goodness. This guy screams character that we're not going to see past episode 4. Like, this is someone that is going... Buddy, I'm sorry that this is streaming and you're not going to get those residuals, because I don't get the vibe you're going to be on this show for very long.
Oh, no, he got the cuck boyfriend role.
I will always have such a soft spot for Sex and the City. That is one of my favorite comedies of all time on TV. Darren Star's writing of a big moment happening in a baseball game at a sports bar is one of the worst descriptions I've ever seen written on TV.
Yeah.
And the fact that, okay, so listen, we're getting ready for October baseball. The Cubs have clinched. They've hit their magic number with a walk-off grand slam to win the game.
Insane.
Also, the boyfriend says a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Buddy, when else would a walk-off happen? It has to happen in the bottom of the ninth.
No. It can happen in extras.
Sorry, it can happen. It can happen in extras. Anyway.
Also, I would just want to say, revisionist history, that David Bodie grand slam was in August. No way that they clinched in August. Sorry about it.
That bar would be going so much crazier than it is. That is such a tepid response if the Cubs had actually clinched. And also, if they clinched, and we're getting into October baseball, why does she spend the rest of this episode in Paris wearing sundresses and miniskirts?
But you know what's so fucking funny?
Because it's August.
And like, Max, you do a great point of like, there should be so much more excitement. There are people throwing beers around and like absolutely so many shots of Malort flying around. But the thing that is wild is this boyfriend character is so much more excited about this moment than his girlfriend, his supposedly serious girlfriend, getting this gigantic opportunity at work as they're walking around. My big gripe, the loop after sunset. No one fucking does that unless you're going to a show.
Ain't nothing there.
At the Chicago Theater. I mean, Rich, this seems to be all the exposition we're getting, right? Before we see Emily go to the aforementioned Paris.
Yeah.
Do you think it's enough?
So here's the thing. I realize what is missing from this moment right here. Number one, the fact that they're in clearly a soundstage bar. Number two, soundstage
Not
bar,
enough sound.
soundstage bar with one TV and 2 Cub shirts in total, which promptly got returned to Fanatics. The issue with all of these characters right now, and I don't know if they're trying to make this true to form to just Chicagoans, is that none of them are expressing any emotion at all. There's no like maybe moments of indecision for her choice to go to Paris, or like the how it'll affect her relationship or anything like that. There is almost no emotion from her boyfriend, who just found out that his partner is going to be gone for an entire calendar year. Like, there's nothing. And I want to say it's like the writing, but I don't think it is. I think it's the acting, and I think it's the directing, that they just like, all right, we got that one shot, let's move on. Emily's leaving her partner now.
The plot of this is as thin as the crepes that Emily will be eating when she gets to Paris. It feels like they were forced to have an exposition sequence. Like, they were forced to have a cold open. And I almost think this show would benefit from just Emily being in Paris. And I'm not a huge VO fan, but I almost was like, we just want to see her in Paris. Like, we don't need to see her in Chicago. I don't need to know if Emily Cooper has ever been to Snickers in River North or not. I just need to see her
I want to know.
in Paris.
I want to see Emily at Snickers. It's 2:30 in the morning, and she's questioning life choices.
What Big Ten college do you think Emily Cooper went to?
She went to Nebraska.
Oh,
no doubt.
I was saying Northwestern.
100%.
I was saying Northwestern.
Absolutely.
Okay,
not. No.
so
but go ahead, Rich.
I can fix this show immediately. If you want to have any tie to Chicago, you have to have someone with a George Wendt fake Chicago accent that is so absurd, and put them in Chicago and put them in Paris. Let me get one of those baguettes there.
But to add to Rich's wonderful observation and editing of the script, Max, to go with yours, I think that this show would benefit from flashbacks, if that makes sense. Do the very common thing that we see. Someone is on a plane and they have a small flashback to why are they here in this moment in time. Why is it not Kate Walsh's character? Oh, literally you get that idea of, oh, Emily was there, Kate Walsh is pregnant. Okay, fine. But Max, I want to get more to the Emily actually being in Paris moment for both of you gentlemen. And let's talk a little bit about why is today different than any other day, right? Emily is in Paris. First day of the job. First day of living seemingly.
If you're going to make a show called Emily in Paris, the number one rule has Emily has to be in Paris.
Texas. But like I sort of am of the mindset of, and I'm curious for you two, it seems like Emily has taken no steps to become culturally aware of what Paris is like. Do you think that adds anything to the show itself?
I mean, in the sense of it provides a base of where this character's arc has to go, yes. Like, Emily has to be as much of a fish out of water in order to eventually get to a place where she has evolved, she has changed, and she has learned something and grown along the journey. And so we need to start her at, like, the absolute bottom floor. Not the first floor, 0, because here in Paris, we have ground and then first floor, as it's well established.
there also needs to be just like a level setting of expectation here. Like, yes, are people going to be like a little bit of a stickler about language and stuff like that there? Are people going to like, so many Parisians know English, it is insane. It's one of the most visited countries or visited cities on the planet, if not the most visited. So many people speak English there. It is I could not go to a single business and try to practice my French when I was there recently, and they wouldn't immediately start speaking to me in English.
Rich, you of course were preparing for today's episode,
yes,
right?
I was on site doing research for Emily in Paris.
Rich, to your point, the show would not be fun if we just had a world where Emily was welcomed in, like, and everyone absolutely fucking loved her.
Totally.
But the thing that pisses me off, every experience that I have had in Paris, the Parisians are some of the nicest people to tourists. And this show, you could easily convince me that the only reason they called this Emily in Paris is because they got a tax credit to film in Paris.
Yeah, truly.
And otherwise, Darren Star hates the French, because every single French character, other than one moment at the end of this pilot, is written to be either the horniest person in the world,
I know. Oh my God.
or the meanest person in the world.
It does feel like a lot of these are leftover French stereotypes from how we like projected them in American media throughout the 90s and early 2000s, like very lowest common denominator comedy. And I think my issue with this show overall is that we just never get past these surface type situations. It's like Emily's big why is today different is essentially what the entire show is.
Right.
She goes through hardships of just like people are kind of snooty to her, and we never get a real all is lost. We never get to see any moment where she overcomes and perseveres. We don't get that moment of she's really good at her job and flips the narrative. We don't get that big end of a comedy monologue where we understand what the general theme or consensus of the show is going to be. We're just sort of stuck in this one gear, and we never get any of that meat that really takes a show to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the slightest push on that. That's the slightest.
Okay.
Imagine I just nudged you very slightly. If you were to go somewhere for work and knowing you were stuck there for a year, unless you quit your job for a big promotion that you were set to go,
Sounds like a COVID story.
to only find out that agency that she is going to, that somehow is the highest powered agency in the world that is doing the things that...
Who just got acquired by another company.
Yeah, that just got acquired by another organization. So how well are they really doing?
Right.
To find out that no one in that agency gives a flying fuck about anything you do and is going to make fun of you to your face, that would fucking suck. Like that.
Totally.
That would be a big blow. And Rich, I'm curious.
But to their point, they're about to try to get told what to do by someone who doesn't have experience in the fashion world, someone who doesn't speak French, who they were promised they were going to have someone who did both. Like, I would also be like, okay, so I got fired from a job once because instead of like any help, I was running my own department. Instead of getting help for me, they gave me a 65-year-old boss. Like, and essentially took all the work that I did and made me number two for it, which is fucking insane. I see where they're coming from. I would be upset too if someone came in with zero experience, no respect for the culture that I'm part of, and then like immediately started like trying to tell me what to do. That said, I just realized what is happening with Emily, specifically with her character. They wrote Carrie as a millennial going to Paris. This is a Sex and the City episode, but with like all the men are super horny, all the like the job doesn't really matter all that much. It is just like have you guys seen that atrocious Sex and the City movie where they go to like Dubai or whatever?
Max,
Wait, oh my God, I just realized, Rich, Big is moving to Paris.
Max, Big's dead.
I mean, Max, I'm curious for your perspective because we do get this sense of Emily is not welcomed, right? She is being given the nickname of Bumpkin by...
yes, La Pluke, the hick.
Le Pluke, which means bumpkin or pumpkin, depending on where you get your definition from.
Number one, if you put it into Google Translate, it doesn't say the hick, so they made that up entirely. It's
and
just
if you put it into Emily's Google browser, it has the largest font size I've ever seen. Someone in their 20s.
Emily's an elder millennial.
I do want to go to one of the characters that we meet outside of the agency, though, because while Emily is trying to get lunch alone, right, because she is a outcast in her own workplace, we meet Ashley Park's character of Mindy Chen. And I'm curious for the two of you. I thought this was a little bit of a bright spot in this pilot because this was actually Ashley Park kills the 3 minutes of screen time she has to make me think, wow, I'd be interested in, like, she says all of these things like, oh, that's a really weird story. Oh, that's a really weird story. And I'm like, cool, that's a better TV show than this show that I'm watching. I want to know everything about Mindy and nothing about Emily.
I think this pilot just feels like something that was made entirely for international audiences. It has like a bit of a Kim's Convenience feel to it. Like the show is like spiritually Canadian. I do think it is. Everything is so polite.
French Canadian.
Yeah, not French Canadian. Explicitly not French Canadian. It's so over the top, like kind of cutesy, and like in the way that I kind of wanted Emily's character to get rescued in this show. They rescue her with a friend. They're like, we need some person who is like a little bit more worldly, going to tolerate like Emily's almost complete lack of character or lack of like, I don't know, she just like doesn't have a lot behind what she's doing or who she is. And you need someone with a little bit more like, oh, I came here, I'm an au pair, my parents are from Shanghai, and I spent a year in Indianapolis, which is insane.
Did she go to Carmel? Do we think she went to Carmel? 100%, right? Like that or Ben Davis, which like, all right, sure, I guess.
All right,
Jeff,
you got 15 more seconds to name Indianapolis high schools.
Penn.
Look, we won a Heisman for the first time. Jeff gets a minute at most to talk about Indiana.
And whatever Ashley Park just meant by telling Emily that she looks like girls from Indianapolis, we need a character who could serve as a mentor figure, someone who has been here before, who's several steps ahead of Emily, and allows her a connection to the outside world, something that she can relate to and is going to help guide her in how to immerse herself and assimilate herself to this culture in a way that she won't be able to do on her own, and she's not going to get the guidance from her workplace or her boyfriend back in Chicago.
Agreed.
So I do want to bring us this is only a 30-minute pilot, just to give everyone an idea, right? I want to bring us towards some moment of progress, if that makes sense, and talk about the idea of finding allies. Right, in any struggle, in any hero's journey, you have to find the people who are going to be by your side to help you succeed and to help you grow. And we get that instance with Luke, who seems like this little bit of a bookish, I'm just going to call him odd guy, but he seems to also be the kindest person that Emily works with, which is really not saying much.
Right.
What did you think of Luke's speech to Emily?
I don't think the turn is earned. I didn't see anything in Luke's development leading up to this point that indicated that perhaps he has a change of heart or is going to be an ally to Emily in any way, because he's just kind of ignoring her in the office. He has these quick little throwaway lines. He never tries to relate to her. And so to get this warmth, to get this olive branch, while I'm glad that it's someone just like not being rude to her for the first time in this office.
Right.
I don't know if that olive branch was earned or there's any indication that this character was going to flip. That said, it is nice that someone can finally connect with Emily and tell her, hey, listen, you have to give a little bit as well. Like, you came in here and it was very presumptuous of you to not know the language and to take this approach, and we need to both learn from each other. Like, hey, you're going to change, we're going to change, we're going to meet in the middle, and like, I'm now giving you permission to go on the journey that you need to go on.
Yeah. I do agree with you in the sense that it felt not particularly earned. However, I do think that he was the most timid one in the office to not outwardly, like, you know, talk shit about her or whatever. It felt like he was kind of like he wanted to be nice to her. It seemed, and it felt like he didn't want to alienate himself from his like more longstanding coworkers by not buying into their particular feelings. But it did feel like, hey, I didn't want to like be nice to you in front of everybody else who is like visibly talking shit. But he also called her LePluc, right? That is,
you can get the sense that Luke probably was the Emily before Emily and is like, oh, fuck,
totally,
I need to follow the herd so I don't become Emily again, or I'm not cast as an outsider again,
right?
As well. So I mean, there's two other things I wanted to quickly discuss with you two before we talk about things that we love. Do we think that Emily is good at social media based off of the depiction, or is this how Darren Star thinks millennials use social media?
Hell no. She is posting selfies with a pretty terrible background complexion,
I would be rolling in influencer money if Emily is considered good at social media.
And listen, I know followers aren't everything, and there's a whole conversation about likes and followers as social currency, and we could get into that, but you're supposed to be this like hot shot savant of social media marketing, and your personal account has 48 followers at the start of this episode.
Yeah, dude. It is okay. I have a yes or no question for you guys. Do you think Darren Star hates millennials based on how this is written?
That's a great question. First, to Max's point, she does grow it from 48 to like 250.
Whoa,
so that's like
250
explosive growth in a period of
that's
like
still
2
just
days.
her friends.
Probably.
I mean, when you're posting like hashtag ob nob nob while eating a croissant, you're gonna get those numbers.
Kill
up.
me.
There is a not small part of me that thinks that Darren Star had this written in as a Carrie TV show spinoff of Sex and the City,
sure.
of what would have happened if Carrie had moved to Paris, if he had chosen for Carrie to end up with the Russian or end up single and not with Big, and this is what the show looks like. But then being told, no,
we're done
this
with
has
Carrie.
to be for millennials.
So I think we're hitting on something interesting, because like if the joke is that New York City is, you know, the fifth protagonist in Sex and the City, the iPhone is very much a character in Emily in Paris, and we see it used in a variety of ways. We see Emily interact with it, trekking her run on Lake Michigan. Mm-hmm. We see it for FaceTiming and texting multiple times throughout this episode for connecting with people. And we see Instagrams, we see selfies, we see her typing captions. We see this used as a storytelling device. And the thing that kills me, and I'm going to get this out of the way now, is that every time she posts, it sucks the air out of the rhythm of a scene, because it takes her so long to set up for her selfie, to think of a caption, and to post it. And it's just dead air. It just absolutely kills the rhythm of whatever's going on for her to come up with a caption that literally... Also, girl, it is 2020 and you're posting a boomerang of you eating a chocolate croissant with the caption butter plus chocolate equals heart emoji. We were doing that in like 2016. I don't know what you think you're trying to do at this point. Your entire use of Instagram is so outdated. You are 5 years behind, and I just do not buy the notion of like, someone had to have said, like, this isn't really how someone in her position would be posting or using Instagram, right? Like, someone had to have said that.
Yes.
There had to have been someone in the writing room who was under the age of 45.
And
There
yes,
had to
butter
have
plus
been.
chocolate does equal heart emoji. We all know that. That's common knowledge, but that's not the point.
What is the one rule that we have in pilots? It is you want to watch someone be good at their job. And she's not being good at her job. The fact that she showed up a little bit early for work, that is not being good at your job. I'm so sorry. This is not competence porn. This is Shonda Rhimes is spinning in her big fancy king size office chair. It is you are not watching anyone be good at their jobs. I mean, there are moments where you could argue that Carrie Bradshaw is arguably not that great at her job from how she writes, but it is it is so strange to the fact that this is on its 5th season now, starting from this absolute dog water of a fucking
Jesus
pilot.
Christ,
This is I'm so sorry. This is ass. This is shit from a butt. This is
Rich, you mentioned something. You mentioned a word earlier that I want to talk about before we talk about things that we left. That word is porn, because boy, is this a horny show, and we get one of the worst cyber sex scenes I have seen in my life. And I wanted to make sure, outside of things that we loved or wait a minute moments, we at least spoke to the logistics of this cyber sex scene. Because I have a question for you too. If you're woken up at 3 a.m. your local time by your horny partner, do you immediately just be like, you know what time it is? It is eyes closed cyber sex time.
Yeah.
Who wants to speak to this first?
Yeah, it is. It's faces only, which is amazing. Also, I texted you guys this in the group chat, so I'll share it with the world. This show is horny in a way that it was written by like a virgin, but they only had sex described to them. This is like an alien discovering how we met or how we mate. Kind of a horny, like it is. I totally, they barely say hi before he has his shirt off and he's jerking it. And, it just felt, it was such like a quick exemplification of how shallow both of these characters are written. There is nothing to either of them really. It is just like, well, we might as well be horny now. It says so in the script. So it is nothing building.
It is upsetting in the sense of she's tried to reach out to her boyfriend, whose name we've never said once in this recording. I think it's
What
Doug.
is his name?
I think it's Doug. Yeah, it looks like on IMDb
that's
Doug.
definitely a finance bro in Chicago's name.
Doug from Chicago.
Yeah.
But Emily's attempted to reach out to him and, make an actual conversation, catch up with him. He says, I'll call you later. And there's no attempt to understand how things are going for her. There's no attempt to actually connect and be a partner. It's just he wants to launch right into FaceTime sex, and she goes from being very sleepy to suddenly just seeming wide awake. Like, all right, Lily, you did a great job of playing sleepy for all of 5 seconds,
Right.
and now you seem to be just wide awake.
Remember,
in this
she
sequence.
was Snow White in a past life, so that is just taking back from your previous acting history.
Oh man, it's just okay. And then we do get a nice, funny moment of Emily plugging in her vibrator and using a
You know what?
and shutting the power grid down in all of Paris. Hilarious. You could just try to make the show more like that. Take that one moment and apply it to the rest of your script.
I did really actually. I thought that joke stood out to me as like that actually is like a very humorous, like small, dumb travel bit, but everyone's goddamn nightmare to imagine. And like, it was a nice way to end the pilot on like that sort of joke. That joke gave me the smallest spark of hope.
It's the biggest joke, which is deserving for its button, but I think it's also the only joke that like has that second level to it. It's the only thing that like gets a little bit past the surface. And yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, I want this show, if we're going to do, it's the worst day of Emily Cooper's life, and it's only getting worse by, like, you know, the example of her killing the power in her entire neighborhood. Like, make everything bigger. Make me believe that this is the worst day of her life. Like, let's get past the surface. Let's dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Well, that is our pilot. I want to talk about things that we love. There were some bright spots in this pilot.
Damn right.
That definitely did exist. So I'm curious, Rich, you already gave us your sentiment about what type of water this pilot holds with you. What are some things that you loved about this pilot?
I have one specific moment that really stuck out to me, and it's Paul Broussard's line of describing deep dish pizza as like a quiche made of cement. That I absolutely shouted when he made that, when he said that line, because it is so goddamn funny. And imagine, like, it is very much the meme of like giving like a hot Cheeto to like a peasant from 1623. Like, that is like it is so funny to hear a French description of deep dish pizza. That's so funny.
Max, what about yourself?
Look, if Darren Star is going to do one thing, it is make every single man in the world fall head over heels in love with his protagonist.
For no reason.
And this show is no exception.
Unearned.
Compared to Doug, the Parisian men that are fawning for a chance to get to know Emily are such a step up. And look, Doug, I'm sure you're a perfectly nice guy, but you don't seem really interested in making an effort to connect with your girlfriend over FaceTime and through text. You mostly seem engaged in your work and wanting to cybersex, and I do almost want to see her cut that man loose already and engage in the hilarious Sex and the City tropes of like boyfriend of the episode.
Right.
Because if this was the early 2000s, we'd also get a slew of before they were famous celebrity cameos, and I would love to see that happen.
It would all be French people
Yeah,
you wouldn't know,
shout
though.
Shout out to Ro Hartranft, who plays Doug. What a name. Well, yeah, as far as myself in this, I already talked a little bit about Ashley Park. I think she crushes the scene that she is in. She gives me hope for this show, because you don't just introduce her and say, cool, that's it. But also, goddamn, is Paris just so fucking beautiful in this show. To have it be the template, the background on which we're working on for this show is something that, like, I absolutely adore. And literally, I was just looking at the screen being like, well, I gotta go back. Rich, you want to come with me? I know you were just there. Let's talk about wait a minute moments, things that cause you pause.
I'm going last.
Okay, Rich, you can
I gotta stretch.
absolutely go last. Max, what are you thinking?
Every joke just feels like a throwaway line in this to me. The dig about Emily saying, oh, you must have had Illuminatis. The joke about German people being emotionless. Mindy's line about Indianapolis. Like, everything just feels like it's a tossed out draft of a joke, and there's never a second gear, like a second level or a heightening to any jokes here. There doesn't feel like there's a ton of physical comedy, really. It feels like this is a comedy with a lot of first draft jokes in it, and I just wanted something to hit a little deeper at some point, and I know they can. I know they're capable of it. The button joke is a funny big joke that the show ends on, and I don't know, I wanted to like earn its stripes a little bit more. I wanted bigger jokes.
I have two. The first is one specific line, and that is the entire city looks like Ratatouille is the most insane thing that I have ever heard in my damn life. And that leads to my second thing. And Darren Star, you know what? If I met you, I'd shake your hand. I'd be like, thank you for making one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Kitchen Confidential.
Yes.
Exactly. But at the same time, I'd wondered to myself, does Darren Star hate everyone? Because boy, oh boy, does we leave this pilot thinking, boy, does he hate the French. But then in the back of my mind, it's like, well, does he hate Lily Collins too by making her say some of this shit? And does he just hate the entirety of the Midwest? Like, Darren Star, if you're listening to this, once again, I'd love to shake your hand. But I truly think you are the type of person that looks at the Midwest and says flyover states. Because the way that you treat some of these, like Chicago, gorgeous city, one of the greatest places in the world. You saying that Indianapolis is an unfortunate place to be in while having partial truths is just straight up fucked up. So, Darren Star, I sentence you to spending a month or two in Indiana and finding a few good things to say about it.
Geoff, I mean, look, I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now, and he grew up in the D.C. suburbs and went to college at UCLA. I think he might be onto something
That's
here.
right.
I think he might hate the middle of the United States.
Yeah, I think he's a coastal elitist. I'm going last, and I'm ready. Darren Star, who are you under duress, right? Making this show, this is such bullshit, and it is so indicative of if you were a white successful person in the 90s, you can literally do nothing wrong unless you have sexual assault allegations against you in Hollywood. It is fucking insane that this show exists. It is fucking insane that there's 5 seasons of this. It is, you found a way to have. I wrote a note about a terrible drone shot. There is a drone shot in this that expands from her apartment over Paris that makes me want to vomit. It is so poorly done. It is, oh my God. It is, you have this line that French people are so mean. This is such like a terrible understanding of French culture. The one person in the show who smokes in Paris is smoking from a fucking vape. Are you kidding me? Dude,
Get me a cigarette. There's not enough cigarettes in this pile.
None of us used our 3 yet. We can
do them right now. They're smoking from a goddamn vape. The relationship with the boyfriend is terrible. Lily Collins' acting is terrible. There is no redeeming quality to this show whatsoever.
Well, on that bright note, we have one more question. That's an in-flight question.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm watching episode 2.
Our in-flight question this week comes from Jess in Kentucky. And Jess asks, this show shows us the different ways of life, especially the corporate life in
I'm so
France,
sorry to Jess
how
for the lead-in for this.
and how the Parisians do. And she's wondering, Rich, Max, and Jeff, how would you do in the corporate life of France? So I'm curious, gentlemen, do you think that you'd be able to acquiesce to the French culture of business?
Start my day at 10:30 and go out for a team lunch every afternoon? Hell yeah, Jess. I would love the Parisian structure here in the United States.
Yeah, I think America does a way of life worse than nearly every other country on this entire planet. So hell yeah.
You know what? This is one of the things that I liked. I liked in Luke's speech how he's just like, basically being like, what the fuck is wrong with you that you live to work? Like, work to live. And I'm like, hell yeah. Luke. Fucking preach.
Put down the fucking vape and smoke a cigarette like a man.
Big ass cloud off his vape, yeah.
Then he did vape tricks. But like,
dude,
he
bought it. They took a vape from an Ohio kratom store and gave it to a Parisian person. What the fuck is that?
Do you think they have like Parisian vape flavors? Like these like puffin' on
Camembert?
No, you get
like Beurre Blanc.
I 100% bet you that there is a cigarette vape flavor in Paris because people are like, well, I can't do cigarettes anymore, but I can vape a cigarette. But I don't know if that was offensive. I don't care. But the thing for me is like, do I enjoy my job? Sure. But also, I think that is such the people that I work with in Paris have wonderful work-life balances. They're so interesting to work with as well for my job. And like, I am jealous of them.
Hell yeah.
At points in time. So do I think I could fucking fit in? Oh, hell yeah. Give me a day. Give me a day. Give me a few more days to learn French and I'll be set. But thank you so much, Jess, for that question. If you have an in-flight question for the show, you can always go to tvpilotslicense.com to submit those, or you can shoot us a text or leave us a voicemail at 213-290-1440. 1713. Let's talk a little bit about the history of this show. This show has 4 seasons and 40 episodes, with the newest season coming out today, December 18th.
Cui bono? Who benefits?
Let's talk a little bit about some of the choices that this show made, including deciding to believe that COVID did not exist when they filmed the 2nd season of this show.
I don't mind that.
Large crowd scenes with no one wearing a mask at all.
That's because it didn't exist.
Yeah, no, it never.
You mean the plandemic?
Make America healthy again. Interesting.
We are hitting all the keywords. If you're MAGA and you also hate, this show, come join or come find this podcast.
So one of the things that I found super interesting about this show, even though this is a streamer, right? This is on Netflix. They have DVDs for all of the episodes that are available to purchase, which is just like, that seems odd. It seems like a choice. Could you imagine, Max, you have a Netflix membership and someone hands you the DVDs to Emily in Paris?
Look, I want to scream about the benefits of physical media till the cows come home on this podcast. You don't need physical DVDs for a Netflix show. Like, there are so many amazing things that you should go out and buy in physical media, but like, it doesn't need to be this.
Max, I need coasters for my apartment. What are you talking about?
As far as audience viewership, this show definitely did well. It was the first season was a top 10 most streamed show across all streaming platforms. The 2nd season was watched by 58 million households within the first week.
Do you think this is like a COVID watch thing? Is this like a?
My guess is yes.
Yeah,
this was
people got hooked on this from
the 2nd season.
Okay.
2020 when the 1st season came out, 2020 or 2020 1st season, 2021 2nd season.
Got it.
This show ran into some issues.
Can't imagine what. Is it finding a second writer?
Folks are pissed off about people in Paris are pissed off about how it depicts folks in Paris. There is supposedly a terrible portrayal of how Ukrainians are portrayed in this show.
Oh, Christ.
In a very nasty way.
Spiritually Israeli. I'm righter than I thought I was.
And also this show got into quite a big controversy when it came to Golden Globe nominations, because they flew all of the voters to Paris on an all-expense paid trip for 2 days and then just magically received a Golden Globe nomination when other shows did not, and people were like, what happened? But let's talk about some of the good things that happened. This show actually has caused a gigantic boom in tourism in Paris. 38%.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Ready for this?
There is no one visiting Paris. This is the most visited city on the planet.
I'm going to tell you a statistics that's going to make you upset. 38% of tourists in 2024 were cited as saying that the show was a reason they wanted to visit Paris. It is such a big deal to Paris that Brigitte Marcon, Emmanuel Marcon's wife, was on an episode of the show, and Emmanuel Marcon said that one of the things that he is going to do, no matter what, is to ensure that the majority of this show stays in Paris, as they are currently also filming in Italy for the 5th season. Let's talk about awards. This show got 13 nominations, and like Emily's French skills, 0 awards. I was also very surprised to see that this show did not get a single Teen Choice Award nominee, because this feels like it was written for a Teen Choice Award nom, and to see it not get one, I don't know what's happening.
This entire show feels like it was sponsored by Raytheon. What is happening here? It feels like there's a fucking gas leak. I do not. I mean, the fact that it's so important to Parisian tourism, and by the way, in researching Parisian facts for my game of the week, I found out that half the reason people go to Paris is for Disneyland Paris. That is 50% of Parisian tourism, people going to Disneyland Paris. That sucks. That is not a cultural thing. That is I hope I truly hate how much the government is benefiting from a fucking TV show. That means it won't ever end, and they will keep running the potentially worst franchise on Netflix into the ground like this.
Well, Rich,
I'd rather
that's
watch
the
House
history
of
of the
Cards
show.
right now.
Rich, it's time for your game of the week.
All right, let's learn about Paris. We need a fucking palate cleanser after this. All right. Here's a couple fun facts about the City of Lights. You'll notice Emily is wearing pants in this show, a thing that was technically illegal for women to do until what year? A, 1943, B, 1963, C, 1993, D, 2013.
Now, when you say illegal in Paris?
In Paris.
Okay.
I'm going to go with A, 1943.
I think you said 1963. I'm
Okay.
going to go with that.
It is 2013. There is a ban on trouser wearing for women without police approval until 2013. I do not know what that is or how that was
like
enforced.
Jaywalking in New York is technically illegal.
I don't think it is anymore. I think it is.
It's not. No, but I mean, like when it was, like that sort of.
Yeah, is New York allowed to have pinball machines yet, or is that still tied to gambling?
Okay. Every year there is a citywide competition in Paris for the best blank, and the winner of it wins a contract to deliver to the president of France every day for that year. Is it A,
know this one?
flower bouquets, B, coffee or espresso, C, poetry, D, baguettes?
Max, I will let you go first because I know this answer.
I'm going to say A, bouquets.
It is baguettes.
It is baguettes. Jeff, you knew about the citywide bread off?
Yeah, no, the bread off is dope. Highly recommend they publish the list and then going and trying them and seeing which one is your favorite, because
I'm gonna eat them all.
last time I was there, I like third place was a shitload better than first, and I was like upset about
Wait,
it.
did you went to all of them for this competition?
I went to the top 3
Dude,
and
nice.
was like, I'm going to see which one I like the most.
Hell yeah. And the first one was incredible.
It was great, but the third one was better in my opinion. But I
Wow.
also am not a food judge, so I like garbage food, and maybe that speaks to why I like third the most.
All right. Well, thanks for playing Paris Fun Facts with me. If you're wearing pants in Paris right now, you can thank the government.
Well, Rich, thank you for your game of the week, gentlemen. Before our flight comes to a land, I have 2 questions for you. The first is based off of the pilot and the pilot alone. Would you watch a second episode of this show or more of this show in general? I gave you a slight clue. They do go to Italy, which Italy's also very nice. I will take in the comments what the alternative title for the show is if they stop filming in Paris. Please let me know.
Emilia and
what you are
Italia?
thinking. Yeah. Emilia in Italia. But the second question is, we have shows like this on Netflix. Darren Star is continuing to try to make a new version of Sex and the City, it seems like. And we keep on trying to find this central television show that was so important for a generation of people in the early 2000s that we don't really have that version of it today.
Did he also do the Carrie Diaries?
He was an executive producer on Carrie Diaries. So I'm curious for the two of you, do you want to still see folks trying to take their stab at making this generation Sex and the City, or maybe just let us find new types of stories? So, Rich, you gave us a lot of thoughts, but I want to hear your 2 thoughts on these questions.
Yeah, you know what? I am watching episode 2. No, this show actually made me dislike Sex and the City more. I like Sex and the City. It's a fun show. But it is cut out of time. It is stop trying to make a show, trying to remake or recapture lightning in a bottle. The reason that people love Sex and the City so much is because it was extremely different from everything that's on TV at that point. It is women openly talking about their sex lives in a culture that has constantly repressed women's sexual freedom. If you want the new show, the new version of that show will not be another Sex and the City. It will be something completely different and revolutionary in that way. I'm going to say stop making this show entirely. You shouldn't have even made episode 2.
Max?
I mean, listen, when I was preparing for today's episode, I searched Emily in Paris, and my top hit was a news article saying Lily Collins explains why Emily has a bomb in season 5, exclusive. And as much as I want to know why Emily has a bomb in season 5, I do not think I'll be watching episode 2 of this. I guess to the broader point of recapturing Sex and the City or shows of that ilk, yeah, that was it's a cultural touchstone because there weren't shows like it, and also it is a generational casting. These are people who had rich backgrounds in film and in theater for years, and it was a novel idea to get this quartet to even commit to TV at that time. And you're just not going to be able to recapture something that happens once in a blue moon. There's a reason why those shows stand test of time, and a lot of the writing on that show doesn't quite hold up. It is cringy at times, but there's such a broader sense of success about it that you overlook the times it does that. I think the shows that are going to come close to that are not going to be from showrunners in their 60s. They are going to be younger writers and creators who have more of a finger on the pulse of what their generation's anxieties are, what their problems are, what it's like to date and be professional in this day and age. And you are seeing a boom of them happening right now. There are so many of them, and I would just rather see those people get a chance to swing and miss than continue to do really safe, close to shore bets from people who have had previous success.
Absolutely. There's a reason that you don't hear about any Rolling Stones albums after 1978 or whatever. It is because they're trying to recapture the excitement, or Bob Dylan, or like Paul McCartney or anything like that. It is, they're playing the songs from their youth because that's when they were the most creative. That's when they were the most daring. And Darren Star, to his credit, was very daring for Sex and the City in 1998.
I don't know, man. Bob Dylan put out like a 12-minute song about the JFK assassination a couple of
years
ago in Rough and Rowdy Ways, and he's still touring that album into the ground.
And he had some good ideas.
He did.
But I for myself.
Wait, JFK or Bob Dylan? I got him.
Sure. For myself, I had this one big note written when I was thinking about this show.
Oh, just one.
And this show is a Hallmark movie without the Christmas or the heart, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And maybe I'm saying that because I am on currently 25 days of watching 25 Christmas movies. And there's a lot of different Christmas movies that I've been watching where I'm like, wow, that was a great joke. Wow, that's a great premise. Oh, I really like this character sort of thing.
Okay.
But the difference between a Christmas movie and a TV show that has 10 episodes to, however many we're deciding is okay, is a Christmas movie gives me 90 minutes to fall in love with a character and really trust them and everything that they are wanting to do. Multiple seasons of a TV show where I don't believe in the characters after 30 minutes is a problem. And that's what this TV show is. Maybe after episode 2,
Yep.
I'm like, you know what? Emily's the best, and I absolutely dig everything she's about. But this show, we just talk about the TV pilots themselves. And I think that this is a show that doesn't have a TV pilot that does the show justice, according to all of the fanfare I've heard about this show, all of the people who told me they were so excited that we were doing this show. I hope episode 2 is better. Will my wife Alex most likely make me watch it? Yes, but I'm going to have a second screen up because I cannot pay full attention to this 30
That's
minutes.
anything you watch anyways.
There needs to be more Christmas.
There needs to be way more Christmas.
Do they even have Christmas in France?
But the thing that I find interesting that we sort of talked about is the idea of, and I pitched this question to the two of you, is do we need to step aside and let new voices and new stories come out? And I think that there are a lot of really interesting ones that are having, like, part of the cultural zeitgeist right now. Like, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't know about you guys. My entire Instagram was just people watching that finale. My Life with the Walter Boys, The Outer Banks. I could keep on going. There's a lot of really fun stories. Dickinson, I'm going to throw that out. That show's wonderful.
I've heard really good things about that.
But those shows are taking this step forward that we need to be seeing. And I think it's important to say, for some folks, I need to give the baton to the next person because I am losing speed and I'm losing step, and let them continue this relay and continue this journey.
That's the problem when you've been that successful, and this is like we're overlapping our points here. When you're this successful and you're a white man, you just keep getting chances.
Well, gentlemen, that is our flight. But before we go, I want to make sure that folks can find you wherever you want to be found. Rich, where can folks find you?
You can find me at my home address at one. You can find me on Instagram at Damn That's Rich. You can find me at Original Sketch Comedy for Max and myself, or at Dadwagon Comedy on TikTok.
Max?
You can find me rewatching Ratatouille to see if it really does look like Paris. And you can find me on all things social media at Maxwell Singh.
Hell yeah, watch Ratatouille.
And I told you guys at the beginning, you can find me in Quebec. But if you're looking for me on social media, you can find me at Run Jeff Run. If you're looking for the TV Pilot's License, you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. You can also find us on Reddit and speak with us about your thoughts about this episode. I'm sure you have a lot of them.
Talk to me
after this one. You can also find us anywhere you want on social media. We're on most platforms. If you have a question for the show or for our next episode, you can email us at tvpilotslicense@gmail.com. You can also visit tvpilotslicense.com or shoot us a text and leave us a voicemail at 213-290-1713. Make sure to watch out for some of the stuff that we have coming up. But with the plane landed and the seatbelt sign off, we look forward to flying the bright skies of the TV world with you again soon. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies and your fingers on the dial.
It is like quiche made of cement, no?